So we played some chill hop today, y'all. We played some chill hop today. Everybody, welcome. I cannot believe that it is freaking Tuesday, August 19th. Are you kidding me? Like, how the heck are we already here? Coming to the end of summer, I can't believe it. But this is going to be such an exciting Tuesday. I'm going to remove the summer blues and I'm going to come back to the great times that we have in store. But if this is your first time tuning in, welcome, y'all. This is ThumbstopLive. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is ThumbstopLive? Well, to give you just a little bit of an insight here, ThumbstopLive is our creative strategy daily show. So we are streaming live Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. And you're tuning in probably from somewhere like LinkedIn, YouTube Live, on X or Twitter or Instagram. Wherever you're at, what up? I'm so excited you're here. And if you want to learn more about which streams are coming up or see a lot of the clips that we're posting after the fact, check us out at ThumbstopLive, at ThumbstopLive, at ThumbstopLive. All right, y'all. So today is going to be an exciting one. We have a couple people that I deeply respect who are joining us. We have Chase from CreativeOS, who's joining us a little bit later in the programming, so like an hour later or so. He's back from vacation, so I'm excited to learn about what he had going down. But to kick us off, we have Mirella Crespi. Mirella is so amazing. I'm so excited that she's joining us here today. So without further ado, what I would love to do is welcome Mirella to the stage.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hi. Mirella.
How's it going? I'm great.
How are you?
How are you? I'm good.
Talking earlier.
Yes.
We're talking over each other now. We're gonna have to deal with the lag. It's okay. That's okay. We'll be fine.
It's okay. I'll wait a couple seconds for you to finish your sentence, so I know I'm not interrupting you.
I'll do the exact same, and then it will just be the little bit of lag we'll deal with. We'll be okay.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. Well, welcome to the party. I'm super excited that you're here, and like, there's so many things that I want to get into with you. But I am wondering if we can kick off nice and easy. For the people who might not know you, just with a quick, tell us about yourself, a little bit of work experience, a little bit of personal, whatever you're open to share, and we can take it from there.
All right, sounds good. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. If you don't know me, my name is Mirella. I'm the founder of Creative Milkshake, which is a creative strategy and production studio. We are a fully remote team, but we have a studio in Amsterdam, and we work with brands all over the world, delivering the ads that they need to scale. What else? That's mostly the work side of things. I live and breathe performance creative every single day, managing our team of 33 people now, which is really exciting. Also launching Ad Creative Academy very, very soon, literally in 2 weeks, actually less than 2 weeks, September 1st. And yeah, we already have like hundreds of people on the wait list ready to jump on board. And I really think this is going to change the game for creative strategy. So I'm so excited. Evan is one of our professors actually, and so is Reza from Motion. So yeah, what else? I live in Amsterdam, and that's pretty much it.
That's awesome, Mirella. I'm so curious, like, first of all, with Creative Milkshake, I didn't realize you all are 33 people now. That is insane. How long ago did you found Creative Milkshake again?
We started around end of 2021. I would say, like, it kind of morphed from me. I had a smaller e-commerce agency, media buying agency called Pixel House, and we just focused mainly on media buying up until 2020. And then after the iOS update came around and our lives became so much harder, I doubled down on focusing on creatives, and that's kind of when Creative Milkshake was born, and I just pivoted to that. So it was kind of like a evolving from one thing to the other, but I think you could say Creative Milkshake was born like 2021.
And even when it was media buying time and you could play with all the bells and whistles, did you find that you gravitated towards the creative side of things, or no, not so much?
Always, from day one. Yeah. I mean, I started media buying on Facebook in 2014, or might even have been 2013. And the only placement we had to work with was at that time the right-hand column you know. So all you could do was just these like little images and then the headline, and I just loved it. Like that was kind of what I would obsess with, and like measuring CTR because that's the best we could do at the time. And then when we got the feed placements was like mind blowing. But I always gravitated towards creatives, and I was a big on landing pages back then because I was running um, a lot of like affiliate campaigns and very like performance commission focused. That's kind of how I got into performance marketing. And yeah, I would just make these like quiz funnels that I would like CSS and HTML code myself. And that's kind of what I would obsess with.
That's so impressive. So I'm so hold on. Background wise, started in like 2013, 2014, right column placement, and now all of a sudden you're not just talking to me about creative. You're like, hold on a second. I jumped into the code making these websites. So from your standpoint, like what were you trained in, if anything, or is it just like I'm gonna figure shit out? Like I'm gonna make it work.
It was definitely I'm gonna figure shit out and make it work. So I left university with a marketing degree, and I always knew I wanted to do advertising. I first like had jobs in a more traditional advertising agency environment, really into copywriting and like the strategy side of it. But then I got a job at this very digital first agency with a performance focus. And I'm like, great, I'm going to work in an ad agency. But it was actually in their like affiliate arm where they work with brands on a CPA basis. And I was like, whoa, this is a whole new world for me. And I just got so into it because the thrill and the rush of like refreshing your stats and seeing, you know, if the ad's coming in or not. And if you're an affiliate, you're earning that payout, you know? So it's just that game of just like, how much are you spending on traffic? And then how much is the brand paying you out? And that's your margin. And it just gets really exciting. And the only way to compete in a space like that, where there's a lot of other performance marketers and affiliates bidding for the same traffic, a lot of them running the same offers as you, is for you to have stronger creatives and a stronger kind of landing page. Otherwise, everyone's linking the ads to the same offers. So you win with like really strong landing pages. So that was my game back then.
I love that so much. I honestly had no idea. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But it checks out. It checks out quite well.
It checks out.
Like based on where you're at. Mirella, I've done this thing when I've pulled up some of your tweets and I want to take a look at them and just get some more context here.
I haven't tweeted in like years.
So I've pulled up older tweets, newer tweets, probably a little bit older. I want to get back to the topic of entrepreneurship soon, but I did want to jump into the tactical really quickly here. So I've actually gone and pulled this one here. No one wants to see ads. They want to be entertained. Here's how you do it. And here's an example, or there's a bunch of examples. So this is actually from 2023. So April 2023. And I'd love if we can watch it together. And I'd love to know if this is something that you'd still run. You're like, yeah, this is fire. I got this. Let's get it going. So let's start it up and let's take a look.
Hey, can you check me?
Yep. You good?
Okay. Hey, can you check me?
Yeah. Nah, you're good.
Can you check me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you.
No, you're good.
Okay. Hey, can you check me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Hey, can you check me?
Yeah, of course. Nah, you're good.
Hey, can you check?
So what do you think?
Fire. I would definitely run this again. I mean, we were making ads for Lola, which is a subscription for, you know, female products like tampons and pads and so on. And like these were meant to be for TikTok and like stories and these more native placements. So one, you have to entertain, right? You don't want to come across as like, this is an ad straight away. And if you're a woman who gets periods, you instantly resonate with this. Like, when have you never asked a friend to check you if you're good? You know? So yeah, I mean, these ads performed well. They had insane view through rates and really high engagement as well. And I think it works on both. It's just like entertaining the audience, targeting the relevant customer, but also kind of helping build the brand in this, like, you know, that sets them apart from other brands that might be pushing the same products.
I love it. I love it. And when you're looking at this, we're now 2.5 years later. Are there small things that stand out to you where you're just like, I would change a transition or anything like that? Or you're like, nope,
Everything.
still got it. Oh, yeah?
No, so many things. Yeah, I think I would turn the music down a little bit more. I would have added like a stronger end card. Yeah, I would just thought of like better, very like just ways to like, yeah, just ways to make it stronger.
It's so interesting because it's like when I watch it, I'm like, banger. Like it does exactly what it needs to do. It feels like it makes so much sense. But like the expertise in your mind of the 2.5 years later, like, we could clean this up. Like we can make sure that this
Oh,
is better.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. I pulled up another one that went pretty crazy when you had put it out there. And speaking of creative strategy and education here, I think I might have built the MIT of creative strategy.
I did.
This one was going back to 2022. What I'm curious about is, I know, and it went nuts, like the number of people who engage with it. What I am curious about is if you're following a similar like pattern of how you train the team now, and is this kind of the separately, is this the framework of how you've thought about the new academy?
Yeah, I mean, I had an intention of building this this course back then, in like 3 years ago. I've always wanted to, but I've never found the right format, and I also didn't want it to be just me, because I believe that like creative strategy and paid social is not just about one perspective, you know, like I have my experience and my way of making creatives and my way of training my team, but there's so many incredible advertising minds out there that I think I wanted to build something bigger than just me. So that's kind of how it evolved from that, but that's for sure the foundation of it. And I still believe that like if a person who might not even have any experience, if they go through a curriculum that is based on exactly that, like they will be good. Like they will know how to make ads basically that converts, and they'll be able to start consulting for brands or work for a team in-house somewhere. And this is still pretty much how we onboard and train creative strategists at Creative Milkshake. I think what has changed the most in the last year specifically is just AI. Like a lot of these different stages of creative strategy, whether it's like the research or the ideation or the scripting or the iteration, is a lot more kind of powered by or assisted by AI, which is fantastic. So the human brains can focus on the creativity part of it, and it just makes them more efficient. But yeah, I'm excited. This is where it all started, honestly.
Put the tweet out, takes off, and you're like, oh, I really want to do this thing. Now the market's validated, and here we are.
3 years later.
3 years later, making it come to life.
Yeah.
And Mirella, the last thing that I'm thinking about on the tactical side is like we've saw a previous ad that you would have run way back and like the smaller changes you would have made. We've talked about foundationally how to set it up and like train team members through this process. You work and have worked with so many freaking brands in our industry. I guess what I'm curious about is like brand perspective really quickly. Is there anywhere that you've noticed from a trend perspective of like the top 1 or 2 places that brands might be dropping the ball on some low-hanging fruit?
I mean, I still to this day see brands that are still stopping at the pretty, and instead of the performance creative, they don't connect the ads to the actual buyer psychology. and that lower hanging fruit is making sure that every ad starts with the why someone buys and not what the brand wants to say. And there's different points of view around this. It's just like, some people will say it's more important to build a brand, and rather than just make Facebook ads profitable, or whatever. But I really do think that, like, when it comes to specifically paid social, you can do both. But I think that a lot of brands kind of stop and get still really stuck on, we have to follow our brand guidelines and this is not our brand's tone of voice. And I'm like, yeah, but your customers don't talk like that. So, that it gets really like frustrating at a certain point. And then another thing that I think a lot of are missing is the opportunity that exists in both whitelisting and partnering with creators, because I'm seeing that work really well now. Like, the ad accounts that are running ads through whitelisted pages, and content funnels are absolutely crushing it. And I think, a lot of brands have different landing pages, but nowadays there are like amazing AI tools. Even like, I can name one called Journey, Jurni, that we work with, that basically they'll take your creative. Let's say you have a top performer, and from that creative, they will take messaging and visuals and turn that into a content landing page. So let's say, for example, you have a listicle ad, which is like a 3 reasons why you need blah, blah, blah. They'll make a landing page that's like an advertorial that lists all the reasons with like a full article and your product. It's integrated with Shopify. So taking the user from that ad to that landing page is like such a game changer. And it's easy to do. It's AI powered. And I think a lot of brands are sleeping on this, still taking viewers from like a bunch of different concepts to a general collection or product page,
That's fire on both fronts. And something it does make me think of is going back to the like making things too polished or pretty in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say there's someone in that organization who is trying to push the like, let's match how your actual customers are, or if you're an
Mm-hmm.
agency owner and trying to have that dialogue, do you have any recommendations of how they should manage communication for the organization to be able to see it this way?
Yeah, I think that's where the whitelisting can come in, as a way to like, okay, so if you're not super comfortable with this creative that has a more like language that is not super aligned with your brand guidelines, but it's how your customers speak, and we know because we looked through the reviews or the Reddit or whatever, then whitelisting it under a content creators page or a publication page or something like that kind of takes that edge off and that pressure of them feeling like, oh, okay, this is not going to run under our brand, profile. So then you can be like, test and validate these ideas in a more comfortable way for brand managers and CMOs.
Huge, 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 huge. Nice and easy, nice and tactical. I love it. I do want to jump back to the entrepreneurial side too, because one of the last tweets that I have pulled up for you, it's going back again to April 2022. You were on a Twitter spree at that point. You're like, I'm getting out here, making sure. But as a solo founder, most days feel like I'm drowning. Our Q1 review felt surreal. We consistently smashed targets, improved every process significantly, delivered badass creative, and locked in deals with brands and agencies we love to work with. So something I am curious about here is going back to your story. Have you always had the entrepreneurship bug like forever at this point?
Yeah, I think so. I can't imagine doing things any other way. Honestly, I think after that job that I mentioned where I was in a revenue generating role, where I realized like, okay, my skills that I'm developing now, the things that it can make money for myself and other people, you can see very directly the impact of your work, and like we're generating sales. You know, it just kind of, once you get the taste for that, it's really hard for you to kind of settle into this like role where you're like, okay, I'm just here being told what to do. Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just my kind of personality. And I think even within the jobs that I've had, or even within school, I've always just wanted to like try stuff. I think that's the common denominator that I see between entrepreneurs in general, is like that bias for action, where you're just like, you're not worried or scared, or you're not kind of like debating if you should or should not. It's just do it, and if it doesn't work, it didn't work, or just say yes to the opportunity and learn as you go, kind of thing. Yeah.
And did you always recognize, because you talked about that first taste of, listen, like I'm running these ads, I see the money come back, but in your soul of souls, like even earlier, let's talk about when you were in school. Did you know that you'd start your own agency that led to a course, an academy? Like, did you know this was in your cards, or how did it look for you?
No, I didn't know. I think I went to Babson College in Massachusetts, and Babson is it's a business school basically. Even for undergrad, like their core focus is entrepreneurship. Fantastic program, very hands-on, very tactical. And in the first years there, I kind of hated it, because I was like, you know, I'm first years of undergrad. I want to take like philosophy and like history or whatever, you know, find myself kind of thing. And then I got my first job, my first internship the summer after that. And then I realized how like I was applying so many things that I had learned already. And I was just like, oh, okay, I get it. Like we're learning like accounting and operations and marketing, things that businesses actually need to run and to grow and to be successful. So then I got really into it after my second year. And I think from there, I didn't know if I necessarily wanted to open my own agency. I knew I wanted to be a part of something meaningful. And I always loved the idea of having a team, but it didn't necessarily mean that it had to be my team under my company, but just like that I had the opportunity to manage a team of people and set the goals, and like, you know, that could have been in a company as well.
So something I'm always interested in when talking to entrepreneurs and founders is the idea of passion. So I think language that everyone is fed in our society is like, work in your passion, work in your passion. And I'm
Yeah.
curious to get your take on that. Is that something you believe? Are you working in your passion? Honestly, any thoughts you might have?
Yeah, I think so. I think it really matters, because it's hard. Like being an entrepreneur every day, like especially as a founder and CEO, when your team starts to get really big, your job every day is to just put out the fires and solve the problems and keep people motivated and deal with, you know, mistakes. And it's just like, some days feel like a lot, and some days I'm like, fuck this, I quit, I am done. But I can't quit, you know. I can't resign to anyone. So I think it's really important to have some feeling about what you do, some passion, something that drives you, because that's what's going to get you through those really tough days. Yeah, not sure if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. I've been having such interesting conversations around this with different founders, because like my own personal experience with the word passion is like, especially when I was younger, it was
Mhm.
associated with a tangible thing. So what I mean there is, I
Mm.
used to be passionate about basketball. So I played basketball up until my first year of college. And it was just like, yes, I'm going to work in basketball. That is what I am going to do. And then
Mhm.
after like parting ways with it, essentially, it's kind of like identity crisis. It's like, holy crap, like who am I?
Yeah.
Like if that's my passion, what does it mean? So
Yeah.
there was an exercise that I felt like I had to go through of like, what the hell? And it's over intellectualizing, I know, but it's like, what does passion mean? Like, what about basketball did I enjoy? Like, it's like, oh,
Mhm.
camaraderie, like something felt really great about that. Solving problems together, awesome, incredible. Something around competition and like movement together. And I'm like, okay, so there are common threads that I might be able to find in other places, which is what I heard you say, right? Because it's kind of
Yeah,
like, it didn't
100%.
have to be that one thing. It just so happened. That's like, how do I get even more control? Well, let me start my own thing. And like, you could do it that way
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for me, like, I love having ideas and seeing them come to life, like having a brainstorm and then seeing that creative, like that one chat that we had that became that one creative. And then if it hits and it's the top performing creative, personally, like that's the biggest satisfaction, I would say. But then I think what I'm genuinely most passionate about is when I can build a team that can do that and I can watch them do it. And then just like from a mentorship perspective, like teach them everything I know and give the feedback and like help them build the process and like the system. Okay, now we automate this and then we do this for feedback, and just watching a campaign or creatives go from A to Z without me being involved. I'm just there for that final approval. And that is like the ultimate. So I think um, it kind of ties to Ad Creative Academy as well, that idea of just like building something that is bigger than you, passing it on and watching people. What I'm most excited about is that it's not just a course, it's a certification program where you leave with a certification, but also with a portfolio. Because when you're trying to hire creative strategists now, you want to see what work have you done, what scripts have you written, what creatives have you made. But it's hard for people that don't have the opportunity to, like, I need a brand to give me a brief, so I can like actually make ads. So they will graduate with a portfolio of creatives that they can show, like, hey, I made these, and we will give feedback for like revisions and everything. And these brands are getting ads for free, so hopefully they'll even test them.
Oh, so many good things in there. Holy crap. I want to pull on the thread. I'll come back to the thread of like building teams and the satisfaction that comes with that. But really quickly, Ad Creative Academy, who do you think is the intended like student? Like, who are you anticipating to sign up the most early on?
I think creative strategists that are trying to upskill, I think is the kind of the core audience, and that are kind of a bit panicked about the, like, how do I keep up with AI? Because most of the focus of the course is just like, we teach you the fundamentals, but then we give you all the prompts and tools and workflows, so that you can kind of build a little team of agents under you and like have that going. Media buyers that want to become creative strategists, a lot of like UGC creators and content creators in general that are already really good at making content, but they lack that like higher level strategic thinking, consumer psychology, direct response, media buying context to be amazing. Because they have the eye for content, they understand the platforms really well. They're doing it themselves, which is already a huge advantage.
Honestly, that's who I was really thinking about. Like when you were
Mhm.
saying the words and describing it, I'm like, there's such a large audience of they're gonna have to figure out what to do next. And like the ones who are
Yeah,
most strategic, this is such a natural transition. And for any
yeah.
UGC creators listening, because I have like quite a large audience of UGC creators, so you do too, probably. So it's just like, hey, shout out the academy. Go check it out once it drops in a couple of weeks.
Yes, join us. It's gonna be sick. Build that portfolio. Get a new job or a raise or whatever.
There you go. Make that money. Cool.
Yeah.
I, now I want to go back to the thread of like building out teams and being so satisfied by that. Now there's so many
Mhm.
follow-ups I have, but the first one that I have is like I talk to a lot of experts and lucky to be in this spot, but something that I noticed early on in an expert's journey is is you don't always know why you do something. You just know you got to do it. It's not necessarily the words yet, but what you've described is like building out the process, which I usually define as like you can articulate the steps at that point. Have you
Yeah.
always been like an operationally focused person where you can document quite well, or is that a hard step moving from like true expert to now training people?
I think it has come naturally in a way. Like I love public speaking, I love teaching, and I think I'm able to communicate what's in my head or my ideas well. But that's one thing. The other thing is actually turning that into like SOPs and systems, you know. I think that if I were to look back, I would say for like someone that is an expert that wants to build a team is not trying to scale too fast. You know, like build the process before you bring on the people. I think that was my biggest lesson. And never ever compromise on quality. Just constantly optimize to make sure that like people are trained to the best of your abilities and the processes are built to the best of your abilities, and perfect that first before you push to scale, because we can get so distracted and with this whole flexing world of the D2C agency space, how everyone's just like, I'm making so many figures a month or whatever, and you just think that that's the goal. But I think in reality, it really, like, reputation is everything in this industry, and it's so sad to see so many brands get burned by so many agencies that overpromise and don't deliver and are just trying to, like, they focus on sales first, you know. And yeah.
Yeah. Super brutal. And it, like, I won't say it hurts the industry because it hurts themselves. But something it does make me think of is you'd use the language of goal in there. And I'm wondering, are you the type of person that takes like setting goals really intensely? Where like, here's my yearly goal that backs into a quarterly, backs into a monthly, backs into a daily? Or are you more like vibe it out? How's it going?
I'm gonna go full woo-woo on my response. I manifest so hard. Like, I have my like goals, which is like my hard numbers, right? Where I'm like very specific with targets for myself, for my team. Everyone has KPIs and OKRs and all of that. But then I also go the full like energetic spiritual side where like I sit there manifesting, really imagining what it feels like to have achieved that and speaking as if it's already reality. I did that in the Lionsgate portal August 8th. And I do that every year. And I really write down, like, for every aspect of my life, whether it's work or personal or family or whatever it is, just really imagining, like, I wake up now and this is how things are and this is how I feel. So I go full the deep end.
I like the woo woo. I like the woo woo a lot. Now I'm looking up Lionsgate portal right now. So I'm a meditator, and like I do that for mindfulness to like bring me back to the breath because I can often live in my head. But I'm always looking for ways of just like channeling energy. Like I think that's always like a really cool thing. So hold on a second. I gotta get caught up to speed here of what's going on. That's super dope. That's super dope. That is super dope. Does this all live in your like mind when you're going through it in the visualization process, or do you find that it's like lives in a mantra that you might say as well and you're literally vocalizing it, or is it all up top?
A mix of both. Like,
Cool.
I write it down sometimes. Visualizing it with like a little vision board helps.
Nice.
But just always keeping it in the back of my mind, that scene. Like, I'm a very visual person. Like, if I close my eyes, I can see something, and usually like I'll imagine next year like how I want things to be, and there's just usually this one scene in my mind that I just kind of attach to that and feel that feeling of like how it feels when that is reality. That also helps when things are really crazy and chaotic and you feel like giving up. You're just like, no, it's fine, I got this.
I love that so much, Mirella. Something else I'm curious about, because you had mentioned all areas of your life. So let me know if this resonates. But the mental model I usually follow for my life is some version of light bulbs. So it's like I have my career, I have my like my partner, I have my family relationships, friend relationships, mental health, physical health. List continues. One of the things that I find hard is, and like it's honestly impossible, is you cannot keep all of those light bulbs lit at the exact same time. Find it freaking impossible, right? And like there's probably a
Yeah.
couple I can keep lit and like a couple really dim. So
Mhm.
I'm curious in your world how you approach the intensity that's required from your career and then manage that with other elements in your life, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, I mean, it is really hard. And I think as a woman in her 35th year of life, it
Yeah.
gets even harder because you start to be faced with the question of like starting a family and, becoming a mom. And can women really have everything? Can you actually still be the CEO that is building a growing business? And can you actually still be a present, loving mom? It's so hard. You have to like make sacrifices. There's an expression in Portuguese that I really like. It's like every choice, a sacrifice. So like it's exactly that. When you turn on one light bulb, you automatically dim the other. I think the way that I see it, or at least the way that it has been for me, is that I see it in seasons, and the seasons can be semesters or years where I'm like, okay, my priority for this semester is going to be my health, my business, my partner. And if I have time to see friends, then I do. If not, then I don't. And, you know, but then if I feel like I haven't paid attention too much to a certain area, I'll, turn one thing down a little bit more and pour a bit more into that cup. And I'm not saying that works. I think I try my best. But I think what I've learned is like the communication of it really matters in the sense of like um, staying in touch with friends and being social and saying yes to like things and trips and all those things. If you say no a certain amount of times, people will stop inviting you, and you will like you grow that distance between your friends, which for me was so real. Like I would go so long without hanging out with my friends because my life was just like work pretty much, and traveling for work and coming back and working again. But just being able to communicate that, I think, makes a big difference. Also to your partner who like has to deal with you burning out and feeling so overwhelmed and stressed, Yeah.
I have a lot of empathy for the situation you're in. And I think the seasons is the best way to describe it. And I feel like the one thing that's so hard for me is trying to identify quickly when the season might be changing, because it's so
Mhm.
easy to continue to see it through. It's even harder
Yeah.
to say like, okay, like now something really needs to change. Like speaking of partners, like I show everyone these sticky notes, but I have different sticky notes that are like, don't forget to eat, don't forget to stretch. But I have one like with my wife on here. I'm like, show Erica
Oh,
love. Like, make sure you don't
oh,
forget to show her love. So
that is so sweet.
I need to like remember. So I completely, I get what you mean. I get what you mean on that one. Mirella, I think one of the pieces that a couple more questions, like really appreciate the time. But one of the things I am curious about is like, when I look at you from afar, things are going up, 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 up. Like so impressed by what you've built, the
Thank
way that
you.
you're approaching it and how you think. What I am curious about is along that journey, it's not easy. There's so many things that pop up. So what I am curious about is, was there ever a moment when you're like, yo, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through this thing, but then you ended up being able to push through and you got through it?
Yeah, I think um, recently there's been like a with AI coming along and kind of shaking things up, and planning for my next season and future proofing Creative Milkshake in a way. Especially with that mentality of like, can this thing exist without me if I have to step away? Then it really makes you question, did I actually build a business or just create a high paying job for myself? And I think that has been kind of my mission for the last few years, is just like really build something solid that can exist without me, and this team that can, this thing that really thrives on its own. And there was this kind of inflection point where I got hit with the reality of that, and with AI really coming along and making me question everything about Creative Milkshake. I basically downsized and a lot, completely restructured the team to then, have this kind of new path forward. And that was really, 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 really hard, because those are just emotionally draining conversations to have. They're difficult decisions to make. You feel like postponing it because you're not, well, maybe I don't need to do this now. I could do it 3 months from now or 6 months from now. And you care deeply about the people that you have kind of in your team, but you still have to keep your CEO founder hat on and just make the calls. Because I really did, like, I wiped our org charts clean, and I'm starting from scratch and really questioning every single role and every person. Are they bringing value to this organization? Are they going to continue bringing value 6 months from now if this and this scenario plays out? And it was really tough. Like, it shook up the team and me and everyone. And that in parallel with not the best hires or promotions, which is always really hard. It's something I know every business struggles with. It's really hard to find great talent that is a good fit. So that combination of things just really made me question, like, oh my God, am I making the right decision? Are we going to make it through? But we did, and everything's great. I think it was the right decision. But for a minute there, I was freaking out a bit.
That makes sense. That makes sense. As soon as you move away from just like the tactics and execution, and it's like you said, founder hat on, how do I structure this business and have the hard conversations? So stressful on the body at that point. Like, holy crap, I'm drained from these conversations. So brutal.
It's tough.
Mirella, you've been so generous with your time. The last question that I have for you is what I ask everybody who joins. If you don't have an immediate answer, it's all good. Toss it to me first and I can jump in with one. My question is, I'm wondering, do you have a favorite quote? And if so, what is it and why?
I think my favorite quote is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Because I think that helps you think about yourself. It helps you think about other people around you, because it is so true. Like, how you do one thing carries over to how you do everything in your life. And it's particularly relevant now because I've been going through this journey of, like, downsizing, scaling again, and building. And it's just putting on that lens of like, understanding humans from that perspective. I don't know if that resonates, but it just makes a lot of sense to me.
I feel like it's like I can see the truth in that through what you had described in your life and how you view career. So that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Mirella, you're awesome. I'm wondering if you have any final words for the audience today.
I want to know what your quote is.
So my quote, speaking of seasons, also changes kind of depending on where I'm at. And I try to make it apply, like you said, to everything in my life. So some of the things that are happening right now is like, so at Motion, I manage our sales team and our partnerships team. On the sales side of things, I'm actually trying to pull myself out, like, entirely if possible. So similar to what you're describing. And then on the personal end, I'm trying to get my physical health better. I got like a personal trainer, and everything,
Hell
but I just
yeah.
wasn't taking it serious, like I'm just like, oh God, like I'm so weak, I can't do this. So
Yeah.
I'm leaning into a Derek Jeter quote. Derek Jeter is a famous shortstop for the New York Yankees, and his quote is preparation builds poise, poise builds confidence, confidence changes everything. So
Mhm.
preparation builds poise, poise builds confidence, confidence changes everything. And it just makes sure to remind myself is if I'm going to do something, make sure like I actually want to do it, and I'm going to prepare a lot for it. So if I go to the gym, I got to remember to eat before. I got to remember to hydrate. I can't go there and faint. Like, let's take it seriously.
Yep.
And then for the team, when I'm coaching through, it's just like everything comes down to preparation before you're on a call and managing your pipeline. And
Yeah.
once you get your reps, you're at the poise state. And once you have your poise and you get to confidence, as everyone knows, confidence lets you take off. So I'm
Yeah.
always searching for that in whatever it is that I'm trying to like put my
That's
mind
it.
to, essentially. So that's
When
mine.
yours prepare while the others wait.
There you
It's
go.
so true. Like momentum is really built before you need it.
Yeah. And once you lose momentum, it's really hard to get it back. So it's like being cognizant of being able to maintain it, because the spark,
Yeah.
like it's hard to bring back.
Exactly.
But any final words for the audience before I let you go?
No, this was great. Always so happy to chat. And yeah, it was good. I need to start tweeting again. I was on a good Twitter spree.
April 2022, banger on banger on banger.
Banger.
I'm
I
like,
will
they're
bring
coming.
that.
Well, no one freaking plugs themselves, so I got to do it for you.
Add Creative Academy or
Jesus.
Creative Milkshake.
So everyone check out Mirella's Twitter will bring you there. The first one's going to be Creative Milkshake that we see here. So check them out if you need a creative partner. Absolutely crushing it. And add Creative Academy. Let's bring it up here. But when are we going live? When are we going live?
It should be the end of the month.
End of the month, August 2025. So tap the F in. You do not want to miss out. Okay? You heard it here first. You see my face there. It's going to be a good time. Mirella, you're the best. I really, really appreciate chatting with you, and thanks for being open on this one. It means a lot. It means a lot to me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Most definitely. Okay. I'll talk to you really soon.
Okay. Bye.
Catch you later. Bye. So yeah. It's always that awkward moment of like trying to figure out how to get out. So don't feel pressure, but I'm going to start talking at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. I'll catch you later. Bye. Everybody. What a great conversation. I didn't shout out the people in the chat. So shout out from Mauritius. That's crazy. I'm gonna mispronounce your name. I'm sorry. But I don't want to do that to you. But welcome to the party. But this is incredible, y'all. Mirella is always a breath of fresh air. Like just from now I got a peek behind the curtain to understand why she is the way that she is. It makes a lot of sense. But as much as she describes herself as having moments of like, fuck, I'm quitting this thing, or it's like, this is too stressful, she presents as a very grounded individual. And I think there's so much that we can take away from the visualization standpoint, like in telling ourselves positive things and wanting to see the positive in the future. Like Mirella literally spoke about, she'll be in a moment of like, what the fuck? I have so much stuff going on in my head. But she just goes, closes her eyes, and reminds herself, like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I can visualize myself in the future, and I can see that it's going to be okay. So because of that, I feel like there's so many things that we can all take away from that. Like being able to say, okay, I am high strung and I have a lot of stress in this situation. Can I make sure that that doesn't happen? Like, can I take a deep breath and ground myself? Can I visualize into the future what it will be like as you make it through this? So that was really cool. Like understanding energetically why Mirella presents the way that she does. And it makes so much sense. And then also I enjoyed the conversation around the seasons of life. Like there's so many things that pop up. One of the terms that usually comes up is like life is a marathon, not a sprint. But I don't think that properly catches the different elements within the marathon. So maybe it's not even just a marathon. It's like a triathlon or whatever is above a triathlon, because to match the seasons of what comes with that. And Mirella spoke about it really, really well I'm still trying to wrap my head around how to catch when you are entering a new season instead of continuing the one that you're currently on. That seems challenging, but like it's probably the most important thing. The sooner you can catch that, the sooner you're able to evolve. And Mirella described how it's probably towards the beginning or middle of this year where she had to look at the entire team and figure out what makes sense in this new world of not only AI, but also what she's planning to build. So many great little nuggets in there, and like always appreciative of Mirella and like the types of chats that we get to have. Awesome, y'all. So if you have been here before, something that I always do in between conversations is I stand the F up, y'all. What do I mean by that? I have a trusty standing desk. If you have a standing desk, I'm telling you, stand with your boy. We got to do it. It's good for you. Like I tell myself, I have these little Post-it notes that remind me to stretch. So I got to make sure I got to stand and stretch. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see the viewer count start to jump on different platforms. So welcome to the party, y'all. This is ThumbstopLive. Now you might be asking yourself, what is ThumbstopLive? So ThumbstopLive is our live show. It's live every Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're streaming across a whole bunch of different platforms. So you can check us out on LinkedIn, on Twitter or X, on Instagram Live, and on YouTube Live. No matter where you're at, what up? I'm so happy you're here. Leave some comments in the chat if you're interested in tapping in more. And if you want to see the recordings for this, or honestly catch the clips that we post after the fact, because the clips go absolutely nuts, check us out and follow us at ThumbstopLive, at ThumbstopLive, at ThumbstopLive. Awesome, y'all. So this next guest that we have, someone that I deeply respect, like been in the game forever, and honestly, he's the best person I know at making sure and maintaining relationships and being able to like be a part of keep me in the community at least, or else I disappear into the background. So I'm excited. I'm excited to have Chase up here and like not only talk about the current venture and what's going on, but also just learn more about Chase, right? Like I know a lot of you have probably had conversations with Chase, but peeking behind the curtain even more and viewing the world or how he views the world. So with that said, I would love to welcome Chase to the stage.
Yo,
Hey.
I was back here. Y'all.
Mic check. Mic check. Are we live?
Yo. Check. Good.
A little wonky, a little bit wonky.
Let's see. Okay, hold on.
How about now?
Better. Yes.
All right. We'll just go OG way. Okay. How's it now? We good?
We're good, man.
Yeah.
How are you? It's good to see you.
Doing well, man. How are you?
I cannot complain. I think like everyone I've been talking to recently is some variation of sick. So I was just like, what the hell? And I wanted to check in on you because I know you just got back from vacation.
Yeah.
And the flights, man.
I'm not sick yet. I just I am underslept. All of my kids decided that jet lag is a real thing. I was like, dog, like chill out, give her pops a break, you know.
Give your boy a break.
Yeah,
man.
honestly.
Give your boy a break. How many kids do you have again?
3. Yeah, 3. Yeah.
3 of them? Oh,
Yeah.
God,
What remember was it Darius Miles? Remember the old days? Yeah. We got 3.
Of course, man. Kim Quinton Richardson. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Make it happen.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, we just got back. Not sick, just tired. I don't know. Like that's the overarching, which is fine. It's it's worth it.
Most definitely. And vacation was good?
It was great. It was a good it's a good factory reset on my brain. Like it took a week to chill out. My brother was saying, yeah, man, it takes a week to like for your cortisol to chill out after you've been running so hard. And I haven't taken more than like 2 days off, even when the babies were born in like 6 years. So it was like, oh, wow. I was like vibrating every night when the kids would fall asleep. I was like looking at my laptop, having one of those like addiction conversations with myself. If I open this, I know that I will not sleep until 3 a.m. because everyone is online. And so about a week in, I kind of felt myself drop into vacation mode. And that was that was a very interesting like shift. I remember feeling that day like, oh, this is what this is supposed to feel like. Okay. And then
Did
it was,
it actually
then
did
it
it
was full
actually feel
YOLO.
good though?
Sorry?
Did it
Yeah.
actually feel good, or was it kind of like, oh shit, I have some guilt, or it's like I feel stressed, like I want to know what's going on? I know that version hits me sometimes. In all
So
honesty.
I will like cop to what I did do. So, I watched the numbers. That was it. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna look at this. Okay. And whether it was good or bad, I was just like, all right, well, I know, like I can move on with my day. And so I would just, I'd wake up, look at it. All right, I'm going to move on with my life. Where before I'd be like, oh, what does this mean? And start digging. And so I felt guilty about how long it took me. Transparently, I was like, dude, I wasted a week of this vacation, sitting here stressing out about stuff that like I have incredibly brilliant people who work with us at the company. So like, what was I worried about? What was going to happen? Everything was in flight and it's good. So yeah, it was great. It was great. I didn't know how much I needed it. I guess it's the kind of overarching at the end of the tour, like, dang man, I really needed to just press the reset button on my brain,
Yeah. So I definitely want to talk about that more as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think just for our audience who might not be as up to speed with you, I'm wondering if you just start off with a quick tell us about yourself, a little bit of professional, a little bit of personal, honestly, anything.
Yeah.
From there.
So you heard I have 3 kids. I got a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old, 2 boys and a girl. So being dad is like my most important title. I CEO, founder of CreativeOS. I was VP of growth at a company called Pencil before Heat Map, where we did. I think that's where you and I met, Evan, when I was back there in the old days. It was focused on ad creative for performance, but it was before AI was cool. Like everyone kind of looked at me like, what the fuck are you doing here? AI, what is that? And so I cut my teeth doing that. I was a media buyer before that, in agencies, in consumer tech, etc. And then I was CMO at a lovely e-commerce SaaS company called Heatmap. I'm sure a good amount of people who are watching this use that. Shout out Dylan. And I'm on the board there. Personal life, long-suffering Chargers and Padres fan. Every year we're going to win. Like this year, our left tackle went down in the preseason. All my friends are texting me lamenting. I'm like, dude, we're still going to win the Super Bowl, man. Like you said that every year since 1999. I'm like, yeah, dude, what else am I going to think? We're not tanking. What else? I'm obsessed with this is gonna sound really lame, but like learning. So pretty much all my free time is spent just ingesting material, whether it's podcasts, books, papers, etc. So if you don't catch me on Twitter writing long form things about creative strategy, you're gonna probably catch me reading something about like I don't know. Why Niccolo Machiavelli wrote best book was not The Prince or something like that. So that's me.
I love it, man. I love it. Dad life, Chargers life, Padres. Are you from San Diego? It's like that's
yeah. I'm from San Diego. Yeah.
That's
so I'm in LA now. People say, well, how are you still a Charger? I'm like, dude, they came closer. Like they didn't leave me. And if someone said move 100 miles and mint to Billy, are we having a conversation? Like it was, they didn't do anything. It's just business. I'm not mad at the Spanos family for doing what they did.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I have to support Toronto sports teams. Like no matter what. It's just like even if the shittiest team in the world, it's like, no, I'm riding. Like I'm gonna be on this. Dude, I'm gonna be on this team for sure.
You have rings, dude. I have no hardware. I told my wife, I'm like the day the Chargers or the Padres win a championship, like I'm getting tatted. She's like, why would you do that? Like I have to do it. Like, well, don't come home after you do that. So it's just I know what I'm about.
Do you have tats, or this literally be your first?
Yeah. I am covered in on my back.
Okay. No matter what you did in the past,
it's not an out of the blue conversation. It's more of like, get something cool. Not she thinks it's not cool. So That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh
You
man,
got what you got to
incredible.
do. Yeah.
Chase, I've done this thing when I pulled up a couple of your different tweets. So on
Yeah.
different topics, like you had spoken
Sure.
about. So I just want to pull my screen up here and let's look at these together.
Let's do it.
So basically, the first one, we gotta talk CreativeOS. We gotta talk CreativeOS.
Let's do it.
So I'll give it a little zoom here, talking through what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if you can share a little bit about the journey, like where it started, talking about a couple of years ago, and then where you guys are at now.
So I will be like mad transparent about it. So we were talking, and my buddy John Luke, shout out JL, had started did a digital drop of something, and he bought CreativeOS.io, and I loved the name, and I was still at Pencil, or in like the waning days of that. And I just saw kind of like consistently that our statics were the things that were getting exported the most. They were things that had the least amount of revisions. Like the data supported this. And he's incredible at branding. And so like, all right, we could turn something on that is really high fidelity and really easy for people to use. And so we made a Figma file. We got a couple of friends to retweet, and we like minted that first time we dropped. And we're like, all right, well, shit, dude, there's this, like, we got to get an LLC. We got to get a business. This isn't just the Stripe account. Like, we got to do some stuff. So we ran it again, like a month later, did another 50, minted, then made like a joint pack right after that. That did incredibly well. Then we did like a bigger push. We did a third one, and then we did a bigger push where we got a bunch of different like well-respected creatives in our space to come and just give us their stuff. And then we went and made everything. And that did incredibly well. We'd obviously did profit sharing with them. And at the end of that, I kind of came to the guys. I'm like, guys, look, we have this really fun thing. We make money for 5 days and then we don't make any more money. And like, I just don't like that. I'm a SaaS guy. So we gotta try the SaaS thing. They fought me, and that's totally fine. Finally, we did a no code thing, Webflow, Airtable, masonry grid, janky as they all get out. But we shipped it, and people signed up, and some of those people, 22 months later are still with us, and they still use like crazy. And so we did that. Then we're like, people want Canva. Okay, we got to go remake the entire library in Canva. We do that. Then we're like, this is really slow, and people are churning because it's a terrible experience. Okay, we got to now get out of this no code life and go into a real kind of like the real technology stack. So we started like piecing together devs with a little money plus distros we wanted to take out of it situation. And we started getting a creative team behind it so we could start really pushing, and systems started to sprout. And then we started getting better at marketing, and still to this day, about 50% of all of our revenue, new revenue, comes from word of mouth. Like there's not non-attributable. And you're gonna say, well, it comes from something else. People say a friend told me, literally a friend told me, I saw it somewhere. All right, well, you saw it somewhere. And randomly, I think the most fun thing for us is like on a weekly basis, I get sent TikToks and YouTube videos of people I've never met in my life posting about it, which is just like if you're a marketer, and I know you are, Evan, like that is the magic. That is the greatest possible compliment you can get as a business. And so I was obviously really deep in heat map life at that point. But the business was just growing. It was growing. And over the course of this, I bought out a couple different partners because I really believe in this, and I know where I want it to go, and I know where I can take it, and I want to invest the right way. And I think a lot of people who are doing these things in this space are investing in the antithetical to what is actually beneficial to the customer. So around end of Q4 last year, I started talking to my wife, and I'm like, I can't do both of these things. Like I'm not sleeping. We have a new baby. I haven't slept in 5 years. Like I don't feel great as a human, and it's affecting everybody else. And if I, say my number one job is dad, well, then I got to just make a choice. And so transitioned out of heat map at the beginning of 2025 and just started going hard. So turning over the team, getting us in a good place. And this is like a really great reset year. Like we've been growing. I'm very excited about that, but like it never goes as fast as you think. But then at the end, you're like, oh, this actually moved a lot faster than maybe I would have considered. So that's the journey. So digital product to no code SaaS to like kind of a, random team of people building this to now we're like a business of 7-8 people full-time on this thing, moving with thousands of customers. So that's the journey. We're bootstrapped. So I say this a lot to people, like the thing that I'm really passionate about with this being bootstrapped is customers vote with their wallets with us every month. And so we get a report card every month, which is you are not better than you were last month, or you are better than you are last month. And so, like the way that I look at metrics has changed quite a bit as well. Like I'm obsessive about LTV, where I was before, but like you're sitting there with CAC and all these other things, and it's like, look, dude, if this number is going up, everything else is okay. Like we have this year specifically, over the last 6 months, our LTV has gone up 5x. So like there's some really great stuff, and it's a lot of small things that have added up. Like we haven't added any like huge mainline insane features transparently. Like we've done some good stuff, but it's been all optimizations about experience and customers. So that's I don't know if that was a little meandering in the response, but that's been the journey so far. I think you're muted, Evan. Yeah. No, I can't hear you. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also had to do this. Both of our mics are just for show at this point.
Yeah. 100%. This is just vibes. It's not real anymore.
Yeah, pure vibes.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, shout out to Jess Bachman in the chat when you were talking about.
Oh, dude, Jess, goated, man.
Saw my CreativeOS.
CreativeOS hat, bro. What are you doing? Come on.
Top channel. The reference.
Yeah,
man. No, I love it. And I love the focus that comes with it too, after like anchoring yourself into what's most important for you. So like it makes so much sense from that standpoint. I think something that I am curious about is another tweet that I pulled up here. It's like you shared a bunch already.
Yeah.
How learning is super important for you.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went back. So I went back to 2022.
Oh yeah.
Like you've been following.
I still share these.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You still go back to this stuff that you reference and stuff that you listen to or reread. Yeah. And I think what I'm more so curious about is, generally speaking, how do you think about personal growth and like create a structure that allows for it to happen?
So I have a or I'm going to get really tactical about this. So I have a certain floor of action rate that I need to hit on a daily basis. So like, you say, okay, I got to go walk 10,000 steps. I got to go work out for 30 minutes. I have to learn for 90 minutes a day minimum. And so it could be me walking. Like sometimes I'm doing the dishes and I listen to, and I'll very slowly do the dishes at night, and I'll learn for an hour. And learning doesn't just have to be ingesting. There's a lot of learning that comes from ingest, and then like, how do you compute this information? So if I sit and I write about it, but there has to be some sort of non-work related brain activity that helps like neuroplasticity. I have like a rotation of about 4 or 5 podcasts that I listen to. So one thing that's happened to me over I'd say probably the last 18 months is I'm like very anti-hacks. So like what that means, I don't listen to any of the anything about new shit anymore. So like people come and they're like, hey, this outbound sequence, that's not my shit. Someone else on my team will figure that out. I don't care. And somebody's like, well, why don't you care? And I said, well, I'm trying to find immutable truths that have been true for 2,000 years that then I can use with the new information that I have about our business, about our customers, about the world as it stands today, and my unique perspective on the world, and use that thing that has been tested by Alexander the Great and Hannibal and Julius Caesar and Napoleon and Winston Churchill. And I'm sorry to put my name on that list, and Chase Mohseni. And so if it's passed through 2,000 years of people and people are still repeating it, then it is true. Your outbound sequence thing will be valuable today and it will die tomorrow. So it can fuck off, in my opinion. And like that is a new thing for me. I don't want to say that I wasn't about it, but like tactics are tactics. They're important. You need to do them. But like I'm not going to waste the valuable time that I have, and time is my most valuable asset. Again, this is a cliche, but it is 1000% true. And so I spend my time like I'm reading a biography right now called Young Titan. It's about the first 40 years of Winston Churchill's life. It's about the time you don't know about him, and it's wild. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, dude, it's like the margins in the book. I'm reading it so slowly because I keep writing notes in the margins of the book. So I listen to probably like an hour and a half of podcasts a day, and I try to get through. And I listen to a lot of long form ones, but like the stuff I'm really into right now is Founders Podcast, Cost of Glory, How to Take Over the World, and Acquired. And then there's like one I always leave like a extra whatever I find interesting or someone sends me. It's like, okay, I'm going to check that out. So like I'll listen to Diary of a CEO. He has some really interesting conversations. And they still feel like a little more macro rather than getting into kind of like tactics and certain things like that. And then whenever anyone sends me anything really meaningful, long form, which could be more tactical, I'll spend a good amount of time reading that. And then I try to just read biographies as much as possible. And then have you heard that concept Kaizen? It's like choose a hard thing that you're going to do. So I have a big one, but I try to get a quarterly one as well, something that I want to learn that I know will impact me in a meaningful way, if it's business related or personal related. And so those are the ones. And then I try to read and write first thing when I wake up every day. So I spend the first hour of my day reading and writing, and I spend the last 30 to 40 minutes of my day reading, writing. I don't touch my phone for about 90 minutes when I wake up, and I don't touch my phone for 90 minutes before I go to sleep. And I have everything silenced, and I have a couple of people who have like, they can trump the silence, right? So like in the business, if something is alarmed, like it is fire alarm, they can get a hold of me. But if it's not, then I'm essentially frozen out. And I've done that for two reasons. First, I have insane ADD. So like I will just you send me something and I will just keep turning to it. I have to. It's more of a self-preservation, energy preservation thing. The second one is focus is the greatest weapon you have in your life. Like absolutely greatest weapon to have in your life. So if you can focus on learning and you're in a practical ecosystem that you've created where you are always taking action on the information or storing it and saying, hey, look, I'm going to go and do something with this. Like I shared something with our president, Nick, yesterday. I went to this place when we were in Paris and I was like, oh, dude, this is like, it's 2025. I'm like, in 2030, I'm going to do this. And it's from this. And I put it in a notebook. It's a running list of things we want to do. It's 275 things long, by the way, and counting. We've maybe done like 6 of them. And so, but that's kind of the whole thing. You like, I say to everyone, if you want to work here, you have to be 2 kinds of machines. You have to be a learning machine and a problem solving machine. If you're a learning machine, but you don't know how to problem solve, like you're an academic. So I don't care. And I've been that guy. But if you can take learning and be obsessive about problem solving and following your curiosity, like you will be indispensable wherever you go. And I found the more I took my curiosity from kind of the mundane obsession with history, like random, I used to be obsessed with like the War of the Roses, for instance. I read every book you could possibly find on that. And I've inputted into business, like amazing things have happened. And now, like, as I've gotten older and my career has changed a bit, the intersection of those 2 things has been pretty meaningful. But I think if you don't care about your learning, like you're fucked. So hot take, flame me online, everybody. I'm here.
I don't think it's a hot one. That makes sense. Yeah. That makes so much sense. There's 2 follow-ups that I have off of this. Sure. The first one that I have is you mentioned early on, it's like learning style. Yeah. So there's one thing. Yeah. So there's something there of like speak to your learning style and like how you recommend people identify what theirs is.
It's very thoughtful. Reading for me is like meditation. So meditation needs to be done in quiet. So in my day-to-day, 3 kids is moving around, running the business, like there's not much silence that happens. Um, and I work from home, and I'll tell you about. I can tell you about that. There's a specific purpose of why I've done that instead of getting an office. But auditory, I can move while I'm doing it, and I can put on my pods and still do a bunch of stuff and accomplish a lot of things, and get it done. And so, like, I have something that I do in my notes, in the notes app in my phone. I have 2 things, and it's I have like probably 900 quotes at this point, or different points, and it's just me taking notes on everything that I read, right?
Fire.
Everything, and I link out every single pod that's in there, so I can go back to it with a timestamp, right? So I can go back and listen to it, etc. And I go back usually at the end of each day that I know I've put stuff in there, and I write like hey, this is why I think this is important, kind of thing. I don't do it in the moment because like you're moving and doing stuff, but it's like a good version of that. So I find during the day when I'm moving, pods, YouTube, etc., is really powerful for me. When I have silence or a moment, reading is going to be the key, and so that's why I read a lot in the morning and I read a lot in the evening. During the day, at this construction of my life, I'm sure it will change and evolve over time. Getting time to read and be thoughtful about it is a little more challenging, but I'm in the process. One of my kind of goals for the back half of this year is just putting an hour on the calendar of just reading time every single day. So I think it's incredibly important. Like Dylan pushed me a while back to do a thing. Can't remember the book now. I'll send it afterwards, but it's like do thinking time at least 2 to 3 times a week, where you sit down for 90 minutes, turn off everything, and just write on paper. And it's like the wildest things come out of your head. So that's that. Now you asked the more important version is like, how do you find your version of that? First, it's about surface area of learning, right? So like start doing it and figure out what is working for you. Like there's no way. It's the reason you date people, so that you can figure out what's the right thing for you. It's the same thing with any kind of mechanism you're trying to put in your life. So people say, oh, I need a VA, I need this, and they get very prescriptive, and it's like, dude, okay, fine. Like that's how you do things. That's not how I run my house. And so you need to take what they say with a grain of salt and figure out how it fits for you. So I'm saying pods and then reading and writing mornings and nights. Maybe you don't like doing that. I get up really early every day. So like I have time to do it. Maybe you stay up till 2 a.m. and you get up at 10 and you don't have the time because you got to get up and start moving. Then use that construction and figure out where you want to do that. Maybe you like reading a lot. Maybe you only like watching YouTube. Okay, fine. There's no right way to do anything. I think the big one is make sure that you set a goal and a boundary for yourself. So like the thing that I'm obsessed with is just set the floor of your expectation in your life out of something and make it pretty hard, because that means that if you hit that, what happens from there? If you like, so Bill was like, your floor is really high. And I said, yeah, what's the ceiling then? If your floor is really high, if your floor is low, you're like, it's okay. No, then you're not going to have the life that you are aspiring to have. And that's, I hope I'm not denigrating anybody, but like, that is just a very hard thing that I have had and learned is like your expectations for yourself will dictate the outcomes that you receive. And you better set a really high floor for yourself, because this, there's infinite possibility for where you can go. But if you say, hey man, no matter what, I'm going to be an A player. Okay, well then you're an A player. But if you say like, it's good. I'm okay scoring 15 points a game, dog. What? Like, but if you say like, no, I'm going to be 25 a game. Okay, well then you're 25 a game. And what happens when you get Scottie Pippen? You know what I mean? What happens when Rodman shows up? Well, then you become the GOAT. So sorry for all the sports, but I feel like I can do that here. This is a safe place for that.
I actually like read when I'm reading. I read a lot of sports books now. And it's
Yeah,
just like
dude, they're amazing.
I don't
They're
have to
amazing.
retain as much, and it's just like it's a
Yeah.
fun read most of the time.
Oh, they move. I try to like balance this intense, deep stuff. Like I'm rereading the Odyssey right now. As well.
Nice.
Like it's like a very deep read. That's why I have this Winston Churchill book. It's like I can just get in there and he's funny as fuck. And it's like fun. It's like, oh, he went to Parliament. He told everyone they're morons. Like, okay, that's kind of great. I wish I could do that. You know?
Yeah. This part's always so interesting to me because like everyone learns in a different way, and it's pretty cool to hear how people explore this. Something I was doing with my team recently. It's like, so for me, I identified, I want to say earlier on, that I'm an auditory learner, so I need to hear it. So
Yep.
like reading for me, my reading comprehension transparently isn't that great.
Yeah.
So like I will say, please, I'll use Speechify and like turn a landing page into words. I'm like, okay, I need to hear it.
Yeah.
And then for other people, it's like, how do you process information? Is it visual? Because that means after a call, you should like color code your notes, color coordinate your notes, or like figure out what makes sense. And like that part is equally as important. So it's not just intellectual, and like you can turn it into action. So I love the approach of like marrying that with a schedule in your day to day, like you had mentioned. Like that's super cool. That's super
One
cool.
thing you said, I'll just say this out loud for people, when you're working with people, for people, blah blah blah, is understand the language that people ingest information with. So like, I like to hear things. I also am obsessed with like bullet points of things. So like it's a thing I want to know so that I can be looking for those things when I go read or I go listen, right? If you understand the form factor, if you will, that people first yourself are able to ingest things, and then you're able to translate for things, your bosses, teammates, partners, whatever, will love working with you because you have made it so that they can learn the way that they learn, and you will get the thing you want, which is agreement faster.
Yes.
Or you will come to a head on the conversation faster, so you can come to agreement faster. Like the hardest thing in all of business and life is getting clarity on things, whether it's in an interpersonal relationship, in a business relationship, in a relationship with a like if you're an agency partner, is you're essentially just trying to figure out like, yo, how do we like get married and stay married kind of thing. And it's all comms. And sorry everyone, but AI won't fix it for you. You just got to do it. Again, I've been in that game a lot longer than all the rest of you motherfuckers. So I will say like it will augment and accelerate everything that you do, but it's not going to save you. And I've seen a bunch of like, these amazing folks. Like if Jess is still on here, he's been doing some amazing stuff with it. He's able to do amazing stuff with it because him and his team are amazing, not because the AI made them amazing, right? Like it's the tale as old as time. I got this tool. Why am I not richer? It's like, well, because you're a dumbass. You're just a dumbass with a great tool. Like there's nothing you're going to be able to do. And I've gone off into the weeds on this, but yeah, I agree completely with you. Like figure out how you learn and how you ingest, and just find the system for you, and then set a target for how much you want to ingest. And you will find that like stuff starts just firing in your brain that you didn't know existed. You will make connections you didn't know existed, and you'll be able to come to solutions a lot faster because you just have this amazing lexicon of information that you're able to pull from. So
huge, man.
Huge.
Huge. Okay, so this has been an interesting story so far, right? Like work experience has led you to the point of like this company now starting to set the foundation to be able to take off. Couple that with the ability to like ingest a ton of information, knowing your learning style, having self-awareness. And I guess one of the tactical things that I'm interested in is through all of this experience, you've had a chance to have so much B2B exposure. So I guess what I'm wondering is like, if we try to pattern match a little bit, if possible, honestly, but where do you think B2B companies are dropping the ball right now? If there's anywhere that's low hanging fruit, or just general thoughts there?
Oh, really? I'm about to, when someone grabs the mic and they pull it closer and they're like, all right, just buckle up. My general take on all of this is, people try to do too much. And again, I'm a card carrying member of this club. And you have to understand the stages of business that you're at. But people don't keep the main thing. So how I'll say that is, I have like this list of 275 things, right? There are different stages of growth you're at where these things become important, right? Whether it's product, whether it's marketing launches, whether it's partnerships, etc. And you have to know when those things are going to take place. You can't boil the ocean. So like there's a saying I like from Napoleon, which is to win, you must do everything. And I used to have a much different POV on this. I got to work 20 hours a day and I got to grind and I got to be the person with my hand in everything. And now it's not about doing everything. It's about when you have chosen the thing that you will do, you do everything to make that 1,000 times more successful, right? And so it's about being super selective and then just attacking that front, if you will. And like I'm using a lot of war language, forgive me, but I read about it all the time. And so I got accused of that one time. Your language is very harsh. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. This is what people are doing too much. They're also not they are depending on performance marketing to save them. So like I run performance marketing at our company. I'm very proud of the way that we do it. You have to understand first what people want from your specific product in performance marketing. Second, not be afraid to say that brand and performance are actually dear friends, right? Might even be siblings. Might even like they're from the same family, they are siblings, and they might even make each other better people. I think everyone says, oh, I'm gonna go heavy on brand. All right, dude, well, you need a fucking wall to ping pong the atoms back down. Like this is not a, hey, someone sees your ad or someone sees your launch and converts. I talked to someone the other day and they're like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about CreativeOS for 9 months. They converted 4 days beforehand. Well, what made you convert? Well, yeah, I saw a YouTube video. Okay, fine. Again, I'm not in the business of caring how the money enters the Mercury account. I'm just excited that people are excited when they convert. And so I won't say that I came up with this concept, but a friend of mine, Sam Mendelson from W6 talked to me about a while back, surround sound marketing. And I think this is like, people could take that the wrong way, which is, oh, I got to be everywhere all the time. No, you have to choose the couple places that you are uniquely gifted at being like a valuable contributor, and then lean the fuck in. So too many people, they say like, oh, I'm going to go battle on every front. I'm going to do outbound, and I'm going to do cold calling, and I'm going to do Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, this. Well, how much headcount do you have? Well, I have 7 agents talking to each other on the back end. I have 7 agents talking to each other. They're supposed to help human beings. Like, well, what are we talking about? Like a human being, the whole thing is all the companies we are reading articles about that are successful with agents are all 10 years old and were overbloated with people and mediocre people. So all the people they got rid of shouldn't have been at the fucking companies anyway. I'm of the belief that you need to choose 2 to 3 things, and then those become part of the furniture, and then you add, right? But if you start saying, hey, I'm going to do 15 things from the start, you'll never get exceptional at anything. And again, I have done this. So I'm saying, as like, I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm absolutely have been a perpetrator of said strategy. And every single time I come back and I said, well, okay, what are we going to cut? And you're like, oh, there's only 2 things that we're really exceptional at. Like, let's just lean into that. Or were there only 2 things, 3 things that we have the head count to be able to action on? So I think people do way too much. I also think no one actually knows who the fuck their customer is. People tell me like, the first question I ask, and it's such a remedial question: who's your customer? Tell me about them. Like, oh, it's this company, and they give me stats. I'm like, dude, don't tell me the stats. Tell me the story, right? tell me their story, because they don't work for you. You work for them, right? They're your boss. You're not their boss. So you should know their story, because they are more important than you. Like, Chase, well, someone's paying you $49 a month. How are they more important than you? Dog, if they're happy, then they tell their friend and they expand with their team. And then we get more of them. And maybe one of them has a YouTube channel, and then they make a YouTube video, and then there are 10,000 people who subscribe to them. Like, it's not that deep. Like, focus on people, be very people oriented, and thoughtful about it, and don't do too much, and get amazing at the things that you do. And like I said, become part of the furniture. So, okay, now you're amazing at performance marketing. Okay, I don't think about it anymore. It's not even something I think about. Let's add something now. What is the next place that our customers are that I know will help us make money or help us save money? Right. And again, my bootstrap mindset is I am thinking about, okay, what are the dollars in? What are the dollars out? How can I allocate capital properly to make us more money that is durable, that then we can go invest in making more money that is durable, right? And at that same time, being thoughtful about the efficiency of those things. And so I think if I had to break it down to two things, you're doing too much, you're not doing any of it well enough, and you don't care about your customers. Like I just every single time I talk to someone, I'm like, all right, I can't save you. So I'm just going to move on with my life. And every once in a while you meet someone, you're like, oh, this person cares. And those are, for me, that's when I invest in a relationship with those people, because I'm like, all right, I'm here to help people that want to help themselves. But I've spent so much time being like, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? And then later on, they're like, man, I totally missed the boat. Bruv. So that's spicy. I hope I hope it goes viral so that people come at me, because I'm ready. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I haven't let it rip recently. So and I got more sleep last night. I wouldn't have been this fiery yesterday. So it's good. It was a Tuesday versus Monday.
Got the clips, man. Got the clips. Got the clips. Chase, I kind of want to jump back to the beginning of our conversation, just speaking about like the number one title you hold is you want to be a great dad, right?
Yeah.
And like something that I've been thinking about a lot is like, I was talking to Mirella about this too a little bit earlier, but the way that I kind of see my life is let's use light bulbs as the analogy. So it's like one of them is career, one of them is my partner, one of them is family, one of them is friends, mental health, physical health, list continues, right?
Yeah.
You kind of reach a state where it's impossible to keep all of those lights lit or at the same amount of brightness with the same amount of electricity, essentially. And then like you have to be able to understand how to distribute, where to distribute, and when to distribute that electricity. So I'm just curious, like in your world, how you view like this balancing act across all different elements of your life, especially as an ambitious person.
Okay. So, I'll tell a funny story and then I'll get into the meat of this. So we're on this trip, and every single day I'm sitting there optimizing the trip. Well, we did this. Would you do this again? My wife is really annoyed. She's like, this is not your business. Stop trying to make it better all the time. It is just what it is. I'm like, well, what about this? What about this one? And so why I say that is I really like the light bulbs analogy. It's like struggle is the wrong word. It is a lifelong mission, right? And these things, they move like the ocean, right? It's like undulating waves. You're up and you're down, and you're up and you're down, and you're up and you're down. And so what I have tried to do, and I'll talk about the specifics, but I'll try to talk on a macro, is I try to spend as much time as I can with my kids and be as involved as I possibly can. But the waves move in different ways. And so let's just say work is up, I know that when work is down, if you will, like there's time, I'm going to over index on the kids stuff, because I know that the wave will then crest again. And the thing that I have struggled with, and it's just, you're trying to do too much, is like on the personal, right? So I will say, never failed on my learning. Never failed on, I don't want to say never failed, but very high throughput, success rate on learning, on kid stuff, on like acting for the business. Where I have fallen off and not been always successful is investing completely in my time with my partner. Like I'll sit down with I did this a lot last year. I really actually haven't done it this year unless she's like, hey, I want to work late. Do you want to like work and have like a work date? I'm like, oh, you don't have to tempt me with a good time, girl. Like I've been waiting for this. Sorry, hot take, Twitter, we'll have a glass of champagne. Sorry. Love Breeze, but we're having some bubbles during those work dates. And then the last one is my personal health, both mental and physical. And I would say actually the thing that I have done I have not invested in enough is that. And so my brother, if you guys don't follow him, at Blake Mohseni, do it. He's a fucking legend. But he pushed me, I think about a month ago. He's like, hey man, like this is a pattern I'm noticing with you about this stuff. You will push yourself to the brink on everything but taking care of yourself. I challenge you for a week to do this. I did it and I was like, oh shit, I feel so much different. Like it's magic. He's like, it's not magic, dude. It's fucking, it's been written about for hundreds of years. Everyone knows you should be doing it. And so I would just say over the last a month, and hit me back up January 1st of 2026, and let's see how I've done on this. But that's the place where I felt I've let myself go, and it's the easiest one to let go transparently because there's no one else there, right? Business, other people, kids, other people, spouse, other people, you're learning with other people and you're applying it to business. So like there is a financial kind of component to the obsession with learning. But this take care of yourself thing. And transparently, like, my dad is an immigrant, entrepreneur, just still to this day works himself to the bone. And so like, this is the model that you look at and like, he's my hero. I think the idea though is you gotta change, like he didn't set the table so that you could not be better, right? Don't be the same, be better. I want my kids to be better than me, right? So like, I'm going to set the table and then like say, hey man, now it's on you to take this to the next place. So I'm giving you all of that. How I think about it in general is I try to do a scorecard at the end of the day. And the idea is like, okay, how much of this stuff that I believe is necessary? So I set a scorecard and say, hey, these are the things I want to do. Did I spend, X amount of time with the spouse uninterrupted, no phone, no anything, we talked, yada, yada. Okay. Yes, I did, check. And obviously I want to do more, but like, again, floor, right? Did I spend this much time with the kids uninterrupted and focused? Okay, check. Did I get this amount of deep work time in at work? Okay, check. Did I hit this amount of steps in a day? Did I do these like yada, yada, yada? Okay, well, it doesn't. So I don't, I have one thing that's maybe great. I don't really get stuck in the past too much. So like, okay, well, out of 100 points, I hit 63 today. All right, well, 63. Okay, these are the things I can get better at. Okay, fuck it. I'm going to move on with my life. So like, nothing really holds too much weight on my back. And I found that to be successful. Now, some people will say like, this will give me a negative feedback loop where I'm not going to want to get better. Everything is framing. So the way I frame it is, oh man, how much opportunity to have a better day because I had a great time today. And so like I will, and I'm happy to share this, but when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was a drug addict. I almost died. A couple of my friends did. And so like, I kind of look at every day as like, this is just a gift. I've got like plus however many thousands of days on this earth that I shouldn't be here. I think we all take this shit way too for granted. We take it way too seriously. Like, dude, we were on this trip. I swear to God, my kids were fucking melting down, right? Oh, they're tired, dude. They're out of their things. I'm taking away iPads because I've been using it as like, hey, take these drugs and leave me alone kind of thing. okay. Like I used to get embarrassed. Oh my God, they're crying. They're this, that. Dude, this kid is 3 years old. He can't wipe his own ass. Like, why am I getting mad that he can't like think through things? If I'm losing my cool, I'm 37 years old. Like, what are we talking about? And so you have to take your life incredibly seriously. Every person, if you ask any person about me, it's like Chase is a really serious person. But like, you also have to understand like memento mori, like you're gonna die. So like have a good fucking time while you're doing this thing. This business is hard. Okay, fine. What's the alternative? You go like a lot of my entrepreneur friends are like, oh dude, it's hard. It's this, it's that. Okay, go get a job and don't worry about it. Just what are we talking about? I've done both sides. I choose this side every single time. Like it's hard, it's this, it's that, but like you need to know what you're about. And so I have like scorecard. I always think about like my blessings and gratitude. I do the gratitude all day, every day, and then I have a couple of mottos I say to myself all the time. And self-discipline is not just, hey, I didn't eat this food, or hey, I worked out and I ran 5 miles. It is, hey, I spent the time with the people that matter most to me. Hey, I delivered for my team in this way. And so there's there are 3 things that I say a lot to myself. Like I have the quotes for business, but then I have my personal ones. One is discipline is destiny. This is Ryan Holiday. And I think he probably took it like some paraphrase of Marcus Aurelius. The second one is discipline is freedom and power in one. And it's 1000% is. And so the more boundaries and clarity you have around those things, the more free you will be. It's like when you go to a Cheesecake Factory and you see the menu and you're like, there's 700 things on here. What the fuck? I'll just have a patty melt, I guess. Like, I don't want to even read anything that's on here. It's too much. Or you have the whole like cereal paradox in the when you're in the grocery store versus you go to like a Michelin restaurant. They're like, oh, here are 3 things. This is what we're giving you. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take my money. Like, I feel great. And so that's that one. And then there's another one, which is stupid in small things, stupid in big things. And so like, I always think about big things, and I let small things go, and those things stack up and become a big thing. And so like get really good at little things and have those be momentum for you. And then it'll be so easy to go and conquer, big things, because you'll have momentum, you'll have confidence, etc. So yeah, that's how I think about that. I like the light bulb analogy. I will say you can't do everything, and you've got to give yourself some grace. And like, shout out to my friends. I haven't been the best friend in the entire world. But we've been riding together for 30 years. So I think they know if they're in a jail in Gibraltar, I'm there.
Chase, man. I didn't know about when you were a teenager. Like, big up to you. Congrats. Like,
Yeah, man,
absolutely incredible to get through, man. Absolutely incredible to
great.
get through.
I'm very blessed. And I feel really lucky. And obviously pouring out for the ones who didn't make it. I think the macro on all of that is like, you have more in you and more power in you than you think. A lot of people don't believe in themselves, and when you speak negatively to yourself in your head, your body doesn't know the difference. So if you say I'm stupid, your body thinks you're stupid. And like you can be self-deprecating, but like are you being self-deprecating, or are you telling yourself a story that is not true? It's not found in reality. I'll be honest with you. I was like a meathead in high school, and I didn't think that I was very intelligent. And like, because of all of that, I had to, again, I say factory reset. I factory reset my entire kind of life and the way I did everything. And I realized, oh, I'm not dumb. I just haven't learned the way that I need to learn, right? And I haven't put myself in a position to learn the things that I want to learn and be around the people that make sense for me in this situation. I think this was almost 20 years ago now, but life has changed from there, and you'll go through different stages of this as I'm feeling right now, like, okay, I'm starting to go to like a different level I need to push myself towards. And so like, okay, well, here are the things that got me here. And there's this guy named Ed Milet. If anyone's ever listened to him, like he's a pretty good podcast. And he said to get to 90% better than everyone in the world is only 50% of the job. To get to that last 10% is 50%, and it's the harder 50%, because the things that got you here are not the things that are going to get you there. And it's a really hard lesson to learn, because everyone finds a winning formula for themselves, and they want to just lean into that because it's comfortable. And like when you're growing, you feel naked. You're like, oh, dude, I don't want, I don't want to feel like this. I like having my armor and my shield. And my dad has a saying, which is like, yo, dude, if a storm is coming at you, like, don't run away, because it's going to keep coming at you. Like, run towards it. And on the other side of it is just a wet pasture, right? And essentially his version of like the obstacle is the way. Yeah, dude, I think I would hope if anyone listens to this, just understand, like, no matter how bad it is, you're alive. There's an alternative. And I can tell you, it's pretty final. And you don't get opportunities to have joy and excitement and all of those things. And if you said, Chase, like, is all the kind of things you went through been worth it? What? Yeah, dude. My kid the other day, I played with him for 30 minutes. He's like, you're the best dad in the world. Oh, okay. Or like not have it. I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about. Same thing. Like, I'll even bring it to business. Someone sends you a message. Dude, you helped me do this thing. I was struggling so much. That email is worth it. Like, worth everything. Like, you help someone do something that they couldn't accomplish. And I'm sure you have the same thing. At Motion, you guys get emails like this and messages like this all the time. Dude, you guys unlock this thing for me. I couldn't figure it out. It's like, oh, that's the fucking point. Yeah, the money, this, that's great. It's all, but like, value creation, what's downstream of value creation, if you're pointed at commerce, is dollars. So like, just focus on the value creation, whether it's in a person's life or in their business, yada, yada. And like, good things happen from there. But if you're obsessed with the money first, which is the main thrust of the issue most of the time, like, you will always be rate limited on what you can accomplish. So again, you give me a question, I go into like 7 different tangents, but
no, man, it's good. It's good. I feel like you touched upon so many things in there. Yeah. It's like, literally everyone I've spoken to, it doesn't even seem like money's the driver. Like, money might be like one of the outcomes that comes from it, but something else is driving internally, which we didn't get a chance to talk to. But
yeah,
Chase, you've been so generous with your time, man. You've been so generous. I feel like there's so many other things I wanted to talk to you, so we got to run it back.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, dude. Anytime. I appreciate you. Thank you for the thoughtful questions. And yeah, money's not a driver, transparently. Like, it's great. It's a great outcome. But for me, having been, I didn't even tell you about like the whole filmmaking arc that I had, where I was a filmmaker for many years.
Yo, there's so much complexity. Like, literally was talking to Andrew Foxwell. This guy was like, I was in a hip hop freestyle group in college.
Yeah, dude.
And then shout out to Jess. Jess was like an underground hip hop DJ. Like, Phil was in a like traveling band for 7 years.
Yeah, dude.
Shaheen was like an underground artist who'd go to punk rock festivals.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what's going on?
Well, this is the kind of the untold truth about people who get into marketing, is like, there's no one that is good at marketing that studied marketing. Like, because you have to have some sort of like a non-binary way of thinking about it. Like, you can't, you almost have to think in the kind of asymmetric way that an artist thinks, rather than like the way that they teach marketing is like mathematics. It's like paint by numbers marketing you learn in school. And like, sorry, I'm gonna say it, or we're gonna get roasted online, but like, these are the people that become like marketing managers, and like, they're like, okay, I know how to run a campaign and do this. And the people that are their bosses are like someone like a physics degree from the MIT, and you're like, why are you running a marketing division? It's like, well, I think about the the covalent coefficient of this business. You're like, oh, they just think different. Like, it's the old Steve Jobs. Like, they think different. So I have not met a marketer who studied marketing. I'll just use Rob as an example. He studied finance, and he's like an incredible brand marketer. But it's because he can tie the numbers to the stories. So yeah, I know we're over time, but yeah, anytime you want to run it back, just let me know, man. I appreciate you.
Most definitely, man. And one of the last question that I ask everybody who comes up on here
Yeah.
about, you've dropped a bunch of them, but really
Yeah.
what I'm interested in is like, I'm wondering if you have a favorite quote. And if you do, what is it and why?
One that was on my mind a lot on this trip was since we would talk about sports a lot, it's from John Wooden. So I have like a 10 that I look at a lot. I dropped the Napoleon one on you guys, which was to win you must do everything. But this one is be quick but don't hurry. And when you hurry, you make mistakes. And the people who receive the mistakes are your customers or your family or your friends or whoever you're in a situation with. And you're going to be the one left holding the bag and you're going to be miserable. So being quick means velocity, momentum, pace. Always keep the pace high, right? But don't move so fast that like you don't stop at the red light and you get a ticket. Because what's the point of paying the extra $300? Because you're texting and like, you know, don't be the kind of the macro on that is like, just don't be a dumbass, right? Like slow down, be thoughtful. And then once you know what you need to do, run like hell. So be quick, but don't hurry. John Wooden. If you haven't read anything about him, he's incredible sayings coming out of his ass. So like he's absolutely great. That's one I was thinking about a lot on like the trip because okay, I've slowed myself down. I'm starting to see some of the gaps I created by hurrying too much on some stuff. Yeah.
I love it, man. Yeah, I always found myself gravitating to the sports stuff. Always found
Yeah.
myself gravitating
Oh
to the
yeah.
sports quotes.
I watched Miracle on the plane back, dude. I was like super. I've probably seen it 20 times. I'll watch it another 20 times. If Rocky's ever on, dude, just inject sunshine and rainbows. Nothing hits as hard as life into my veins, you know.
Oh, Chase, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Any final words for the audience? I know you said a bunch here, but any final words you want to leave with them?
Just have a good time. Like it's like life is life is about just finding fulfillment, whether that's through personal relationships or business. And if you stop having fun, like, and I think hard work is still incredibly fun. So like there's gonna be grinds and days and it's not gonna be fun, but like look at it in aggregate. People get really locked in on how do I feel today? How do I feel this week? And it's like, how do you feel this month? Oh, I had more good days than bad days. Okay, well, then you won the month. How do you feel this quarter? So have a good time because you're going to look up and you have a 6-year-old kid and you're like, when did that happen? You know, when the fuck did that happen? So that would be what I'd leave people with. And, you know, make ads on CreativeOS and then measure them in motion, you know?
Tap in with us. Tap in with the guys. Tap in with the guys. Tap in with the guys. Everybody see us.
Yeah.
Chase, you're the best, man. I appreciate the time. I'll talk to you really soon, all right?
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
All right, brother. Take care. Later. Oh, man. Emmett, welcome to the party too. Emmett, shout out to Emmett in the chat. Shout out to Emmett in the chat. Emmett says, what up, Chase, before you get out. Yeah, he heard you. Don't worry. He heard you. But everybody, talking to Chase is always like the inspiring piece, right? You know, like give you energy to talk through it. I feel like Chase drops so many things to try and get my energy up. I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, gotta lock in, make this thing happen. So whenever I have these types of conversations, I always get fired up. So it's super fun. But everybody, this has been a really great day. Like the past couple of days have been super incredible. And if you're just tuning in now, like I was showing a little bit earlier, tap in with us at ThumbstopLive. We are streaming every Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. And later this week, we got a bunch of people you know and love. So tomorrow we have Marin, who's a media buying freaking wizard, who's going to be with us. And then we have Cody Whittick from Kinship joining after the fact. On Thursday, we have Connor from HexClad, so head of growth and marketing ops, Connor. And we got David Herman joining us in the afternoon. What? Oh my gosh. And then Friday, we got Jess and Nick Shackelford is joining us. So we got a bunch of people who are going to be with us. But everybody, this has been today's show. I sincerely appreciate the eyes and ears as always. If there's ever any questions, you know to hit your boy up at ThumbstopLive. But I'll talk to y'all soon, okay?